From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gary McKenzie. This local and regional news update is brought to you by Northway Bank. Want a Northway Bank teller to keep in your pocket? There's an app for that. Now available for iPhone and Android. Download yours today. Northway Bank with 17 locations throughout New Hampshire. The people you know, the bank you trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. No major problems reported around Carroll County this morning, despite the weekend storm dumping a foot or more of snow on some areas. Route 302 in the Conway area was still snow-covered earlier, but plows were out working the roads and parking lots. A dispatcher with the Carroll County Sheriff's Office says there was a power outage in Ossipee, reportedly because of downed wires. It's not known how many customers were affected. The National Weather Service reported 16 inches of snow on the ground in North Conway, more than 15 inches in Tamworth, 15 inches in East Wakefield, 20 inches in Center Sandwich, and just more than a foot in Wolfboro. In Maine, nearly a foot was reported on the ground in Naples. Central Maine Power Company reported just more than 200 customers system-wide remained without power this morning, 64 of them in the town of Sebago. Conway police say a 24-year-old Conway man who was the coach of the girls' Kennett Middle School basketball team is charged with 3 felony counts of sexual assault against a 13-year-old girl. Lieutenant Chris Purley says William S. Kavanaugh of River Street was arrested Thursday afternoon during a traffic stop in Wakefield. Purley says Kavanaugh was the subject of a nearly 2-week investigation by Conway Detective Ryan Wallace after middle school administrators brought forth allegations of sexual assault against Kavanaugh. Purley says the investigation included interviews with witnesses and analysis of electronic media. On completion of the investigation, a warrant for Kavanaugh's arrest was granted, alleging he had unlawful sexual contact with a female under the age of 16. Kavanaugh was arraigned in Conway District Court Friday, and his bail set at $5,000 cash. He's scheduled to be back in court March 19th. He faces a potential prison term of 21 years in the state prison if convicted. Another Maine news, a report from the White House shows education and defense will be among the biggest losers in Maine in automatic cuts to the federal budget set to take hold this week. According to the White House, Maine would lose $2.7 million in funding for primary and secondary education and $2.6 million for about 30 teachers, aides, and staff who help children with disabilities. The report says about 7,000 civilian Department of Defense workers would be furloughed. U.S. Senators Susan Collins and Angus King of Maine have called on President Obama to work with congressional leaders to reach an agreement to prevent the cuts and reduce the national debt, citing a major contributor to Maine's economy. They say failure to avert such an outcome could have severe ramifications for the country's shipbuilding industrial base, including Bath Iron Works. The White House compiled the numbers from federal agencies and its own budget office. In sports, Stony Brook down Maine 69-53 yesterday. Number 6 Duke routed Boston College 89-68. John Lester pitched 2 scoreless innings in his first start of spring training, leading the Sox to a 5-3 win over the St. Louis Cardinals. The Boston Bruins beat the Florida Panthers 4-1 yesterday, and the Portland Trail Blazers snapped their longest losing streak of the season at 7 with a 92-86 win over the Boston Celtics last night in Oregon. In the weather today, mostly cloudy, highs in the mid-30s with light winds. Partly cloudy tonight, lows around 18. And partly sunny on Tuesday, highs around 40, lower 40s in southern Carroll County. From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gary McKenzie.